So that's a straight facts, and we back. You already know this is Dre, and I got a real good guest today. I got DJ, entrepreneur, and the founder of the unbelievable Slappers and Bangers, Arie Cole.
What's going on?
Man, I've been trying to get you on the podcast for a minute, and this is perfect timing. You know what I'm saying? Considering you just had an epic Slappers and Bangers in Homewood, by the way, which was crazy. How you doing today, man?
I feel great, man. How you doing?
I'm good. So for the people out there who don't know you, tell everybody who you are.
All right. My name is Arie Cole. I DJ. I went to school as a graphic designer. I have a master's degree. I can code, and I have like a marketing little certificate too. So yeah, I've been just like working on stuff my whole life, and I invested in my artwork, my DJing, and now we're kind of hitting a stride where like things are really blowing up. So.
Okay, I like it. I see y'all definitely blowing up. So let's get straight to the chase. We here to talk about Slappers and Bangers. You know what I'm saying? So I know what Slappers and Bangers is. For the people out there who maybe don't know what Slappers and Bangers is, tell them what Slappers is.
All right, so Slappers and Bangers, SMB, is a party that me and my homie Neil started. Neil had been going to parties in like Lawrenceville, and he thought like they would play good songs, and then they would fill in like a song with like that was terrible or poppy. And I had just started DJing, so he just hit me up. He had a concept that he wanted because Lawrenceville would like play a good song and a whack song, and when he hit me up for it, I was just like, yeah, that's basically like the basement party era that I went to. It was like basically the concept was a party with like no fillers, just like every track is just like the hardest you can get, like hip hop and trap music and stuff. And we did it, and it started in 2015 at Spirit. So yeah.
So now you were mentioning about Lawrenceville. So like, is that where you're from? Like, or were you DJing there? Like, so what was like, how did Lawrenceville come about?
It was just where we were going out at the time. So I'm from Penn Hills.
Okay.
So I graduated from Penn Hills in 06, and then like my family's from Beltsuver.
Okay.
But yeah, we were partying in Lawrenceville a lot. A spot called Remedy. There was a lot of like DJ driven parties there. Like DJs would just like start a concept around their sound, and then people would go. So like there was a party called Cured, and they play like a bunch of like electric and like house music and stuff and like disco. But they would have like cured meat there if you paid the admission. It was like weird theme parties like that. There was Dance Crush. There was a lot. And so like when I started in August 2015. I did a night at Remedy. It was like a Thursday night. And then Neil hit me up to throw that theme party. And so we started it like the next month.
I seen you DJ for Kamala Harris. And so how did that all come about?
I forget the person's name, but somebody referred me. Most of the stuff I get is like somebody referred me. Somebody goes up to somebody and they're like, yo, you have to get Arie Cole. You got to get Arie Cole. And it just happens,
What was that experience like, DJing for Kamala Harris?
It was. And
did you get to meet her?
I did get to meet her.
Okay.
Yeah. So I drive in, they scan my car, like Secret Service scans my car. Yeah. And then we're able to park. We go in, and we have to wait in this area. And in the back area, like, everybody was back there. It was really nice. Like, got to meet Cedric the Entertainer, Katy Perry.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And so they tell me, like, I get there, and in 20 minutes, they're like, yeah, you're going on. And I go on, and it's like a crowd of, I think it was like 15, 20,000 people. And I just did my set, just blank out and perform.
What was it like meeting her, though?
She was really nice.
Yeah.
She was so, like, just off of a nice person. Like, I wanted her. I mean, I wanted her to win, but
Me too.
she was really cool. And when I got to shake her hand, I was like, hey, it's a privilege to, meet you, and I'm excited to vote for you tomorrow. And she's like, thank you so much. We're excited and blah blah blah. And like, yeah.
That's great. So like pretty much so first Slappers and Bangers. So you're the founder. However, is there like a team you guys have, and how did y'all all come about? Like, we're gonna start doing this.
Yeah. So it started with just me and Neil, and then Neil went off to do some other projects. Like he's in a metal band, he does his own production, so he kind of stepped away for a bit to do his own projects, and that allowed me to hire Luxury, Cat Burton, and partner with Adam FRH Golden. He's a hip hop artist.
Okay.
So now the operation is me and FRH Golden, and we kind of just like we bring in the people we need. We've been getting photography from JM the Poet, who's also part of One Hood. Our original photographer was Red Vision, and he was the one that like in the Brillo Box days added visuals to it. So like he really ignited. He was like the first person to like really ignite what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just throughout the journey, we've been getting like people in and out that just really help us.
That's what's up. Now, where did the name Slappers and Bangers come from? Who came up with that, and how did y'all come up with that name?
That's Neil. So yeah, Neil, when he hit me up, we met up at a coffee shop, and he was like, "Look, this is what I want to do. Would you be down to do a party like that?" And I was like, "Sure, like, yeah, why not? It sounds fun." And I was like, "What do we call it?" And he's like, "I don't know. Let's call it Slappers and Bangers." And I was like, "What does that even mean?" And it just worked. And and it was like
it definitely slapped.
Yeah, right. It was like it's very simple. You get what you hear what you get. Slappers and Bangers.
It started what? You said in 2015?
2015, yeah.
Okay, so y'all were doing it in 2015. So it's been 10 years now. Now I found out about Slappers in 2023. And I was like, whoa. I was like, what is this? And I literally seen it. I was on Instagram. I was clicking in, like, I was just looking at people's stories, and literally, like, in everybody's story, everybody was at the same place.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like, what is this? And I seen it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And it wasn't until last year, 2024, where I'm like, whoa, everybody's at this place. I'm talking black, white, male, female, everybody. And the cool thing about it, I was like, everybody's having fun. No drama, just vibes. And that was my first time going last year. And then I went this year, actually a couple days ago on Sunday.
You there?
And
Okay.
Like, it's going to rain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ain't nobody going to go. Ain't nobody going to go. And next thing you know, I'm like, yo, everybody's here.
People were waiting in their cars. Like, it was raining. Like, we were watching the weather, and we knew it would end around 6:30, and we knew, like, it would fill up.
Yeah.
But people were telling us, like, yeah, like, we're, like, waiting in our car for the rain to stop, and then once it stopped,
that's what's up.
It filled up, yeah.
Now, when did you know? Now, I feel like in any profession, whether it's podcast, it's a party promoter, it could be a rapper, anybody, sometimes there's a point where you feel like I made it, or, yo, we on to something. Would you say, was there a moment or a year where you felt like, yo, we got something going?
I knew from the jump.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, like, when I started DJing, the very first night I DJed, that was in August 2015. And, like, a lot of people showed up, and I stunk, but it was all right because I, like, took so many mental notes, and I went back and, like, just, like, studied. And that was when I knew that, like, it was going to work, because it was like, I was like a C student and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like these degrees and stuff, but like I was like a BC student. But for DJing, I was like studying.
Yeah.
And so and then when Slappers and Bangers happened that first time, we were in the Bottom of Spirit. And Mac Miller was upstairs doing his Good AM party, and like we had this crowd that was like bigger than we anticipated, and like we killed it. And so like along the way, like, you know, there's ups and downs, but along the way, we would get these like little confirmations that like, okay, we're on to something, and then it's like a snowball. So yeah, I don't know if there's like one moment, and I don't even feel like I made it. I just feel like we're doing the right things right now in the right time, and like the ultimate goal, honestly, is for us to compete with like everyday people and Jerk and Joloff, R&B and Ribs, stuff like that. Like I see those parties, and you know, I talked about Dance Crush earlier. Like Pittsburgh has a really deep like DJ party culture, and there's from Honey to like Todd Keebs, and like there's a lot of DJs who throw their own events, and I think for Pittsburgh to have one that like competes with the national and international ones, and then maybe another one starts competing with the national and international ones, I think that's where I'll know that we made it. Yeah.
Now, do y'all ever plan, or do you have any idea or thoughts about maybe potentially expanding, maybe outside of Pittsburgh ever, or how do you feel about that?
We would love to tour it, but we're ask anybody that's tried to work with us, we're very like focused and intentional about the things that we do. So we've gotten like inquiries for other venues and stuff, and they might not have like the things that we want. And so we're like willing to wait for the opportunity to like get it at the right time. And so I think like that patience is like a little bit like a Le'Veon patience, but yeah.
Now, how do y'all determine on which venues or which areas or neighborhoods or blocks that y'all use? Like, for example, I had always seen it like in Bloomfield, and when I found out y'all were coming, because I'm from Homewood, when I found out y'all were coming, like, I would say that's more like the borderline of Homewood, Larmer, East Lib.
It's on the border.
Yeah, and I was like, but just to being that close, I'm like, oh, they coming to Homewood. So how do y'all determine where y'all are going to have y'all venues at?
Yeah, we like the East. And so at first, when we first started throwing it, the goal was just like whatever venue would take us. And like Pittsburgh has gone up and down in terms of like DIY or acceptance of DIY. So like when we started, Brillo Box, Spirit, the Ace Hotel comes later, Belvedere's, there was a lot of spots that were like open to like a DJ just walking in being like, hey, I want to try this. And then they would let you do it. So that was what kind of kept us in Lawrenceville, Bloomfield originally. And then as we needed to scale, we just started looking at different places. And that street in particular works because we're allowed to stay open.
You mean like Hamilton?
Yeah, Hamilton works because we're allowed to stay open like later. So we're allowed to be louder later. So if you notice, like under the bridge, we're till 9 o'clock because we're in a neighborhood. Yeah. But we're able to go till like 10 over on the other street because, you know, we're not waking anybody up. So so it's about that, and it's about like you know, what kind of safety are we able to generate, like, you know, what are our security capabilities, stuff like that. It's just like, it's a lot of dynamics, and then it's also like, is this place cool? Like, will people like it? Like,
I'll tell you, they like it. I'll tell you that.
And it was cool. Like, we stacked up the food trucks, and like even when it was raining, you could go inside a bar. So like, we still had Jackworth Ginger Beer was still open, Goodlander was open, and then Kelvin was open, and you could go in those. Like, so even during the party, you could like pop into a bar real quick, and it was just like a place for us to like be and listen to like hip hop and trap and just like just good music.
I feel you, and man, it's like, I think my whole thing is like I was saying before. It's just great because people always complain about Pittsburgh, we don't got this, we don't got that, or Pittsburgh ain't popping. You know, then when we get something, and then when we get something, it's like, it seems like we never have it for long. So that's why I hope this keeps going. I was like, man, I love what they're doing. I love the whole slappers and bangers movement, and it's just bringing just great vibes and unity and people together to have fun. You know what I'm saying? And most people experience having block parties and going to block parties and just having a great time, and you don't see some of that no more. So I think this is bringing some of that, you know, that's that nostalgic feeling back to like the late 90s and early 2000s, and, you know, and just everybody coming together, just creating moments. And, you know, we could look back and be like, man, remember them slappers and bangers events or them block parties? And
for Sunday specifically, I have to shout out like all the DJs, like Todd Keebs in the beginning, who like, for me, is a legend, who had been doing Laser Crunk for like, I think they're on year 15 or 16 of Laser Crunk. And then, you know, Hoodie Trey. He's all Hoodie Trey. Hypnotic, who I competed against in Battle Gories. Like, that's how I met him. Paisley, who is an artist, and he's a great DJ who runs with the Oasis crew. And then, you know, DJ Bonix. It's like we had all these DJs from different pockets all come and play. Like, you didn't know what you were going to hear. Like, one DJ played Nicki, Keisha Cole. We had some Nugget Few Buck, you know, Shoreline Mafia. Like, we went everywhere, and like everybody, all these DJs from different spaces, you know, kind of had the space to go everywhere.
Do y'all plan on like y'all got any upcoming additions or anything y'all are thinking about adding to Slappers? I mean, it's already great, but do y'all have any ideas on stuff y'all want to add to make it even greater?
We're always looking to add stuff. We're working on like an original concept for our merch. So like not just our merch, but like our vendor market. We get a lot of questions from like people wanting to vend and stuff, and we always like that intentionality kind of bleeds over to like everything we do. And so when we're ready to like unveil it and stuff, you know, we'll talk about it. But we do have like a vendor concept that we think will like drive excitement. Like it'll get people excited about like being there for the music and being there to like see what people have to offer and stuff. So yeah.
So I would say, how do y'all, or I mean, sky's the limit, and I always tell people never settle and never limit yourself. But how long do you see Slappers continue to go on? Do you plan on, y'all have like some people be like, oh, I only plan on doing this for 5 years, or do y'all have like any sort of like timetable or idea of how long y'all want this to keep going?
No, I don't know. I'm like, the way that I think of DJing, it's like, it's an art form. I'm an artist, and like I'm giving myself a stage to like perform my art. And so like SMB is a great haven for like, now we're able to bring in like guest DJs, but it's also a place where like I don't have to go out and jockey for position. You know, I can just be at SMB. And so it's nice to have that, and it's nice to like you know, go and do the other projects. Like I work with Dick's Sporting Goods. Like I DJ,
I saw that.
I DJ'd for like Coach K and Don Staley a couple days before SMB. And so I don't know. It's nice. It's nice to be able to perform in different spaces, and so I don't know. There's no timetable.
Okay. Now, you kind of touched on this earlier, but what would you say is like? Could you like expand more on what is like, or elaborate more on what's your ultimate goal with Slappers, or what would you say? How far do you want this to go? And basically, what's your ultimate goal?
My most recent goal, and I think it's like it's like inspired by the landscape of just like music and stuff right now, is I really like hip hop, R&B, and trap music. And when we were growing up, like I'm 37, but when I was growing up, you know, you could turn on BET, you could turn on Whammo, you could turn on like, there were all these stations, and there was such a like robust like amount of every type of hip hop. Like you could hear Talib 1 hour of BET, and then you would hear Cameron in the next hour. Like it was real. and my goal, like if I could do anything and leave any impact, it would be to like have a space where people understand, where people like kind of come back to listening to hip hop and rap. Cause like we play Zach Fox in the same party where we play Mexico Dro. You know, it just doesn't matter. There's so much rap out there. There's Rock Marciano. There's like so many pockets you can listen to. And I just want people to be open to listening to it, to not feel like they have to be on edge at a party where they're playing hip hop and R&B and trap, and also feel like the artists now aren't making music for no reason. Because there's a lot of artists that if they were making music in the 2000s, they would be doing some numbers. They might be on an MTV Cribs, but because hip hop and you know has a connotation and might be like out of favor on social media right now, we don't have as many artists that like that run the gamut, that reach those high levels.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And I just like that you're just giving us like, giving people opportunities and just giving us something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I hate when people say, Pittsburgh, we don't got nothing. We do, you just got to find it. But this is really, I feel like, giving the youth and just younger people just something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying to you earlier, man, I seen all over Facebook people talking about, oh, I'm about to buy my new outfit for Slappers next month. Or I seen so many memes, so many quotes, so many statuses with just positivity about Slappers and about how they loved it, they enjoyed it. And I'm like, man, like this is just bringing me so much joy to hear that like we have something in Pittsburgh that's you unified and just, bringing us together and you can just go out and have a good time, just no drama, no issues, and everybody just coming together and just all love, you know what I'm saying? And the next one, so for people who don't know, when is the next Slappers at Bangers?
The next one is July 13th.
Okay.
And we have a lineup. I'm very excited about the next lineup. We got A-Wax, who I went to high school with. Okay. Like Ike, who is a newer DJ, but I know he's going to kill it. He has a really pretty cool online presence. DJ QRX, who's part of One Hood, who he DJ'd for Kamala too earlier in the campaign.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Cool Breeze, who is a great DJ. We had him New Year's Eve. And then Honey XO, who is just, a big curator too, who throws their own DJ-driven parties like Cherry Bomb, Venom. It's cool bringing in these DJs and like being able to show off that they're in these different spaces also dominating. So, follow them too.
Okay.
And shout out DJ Bon. I can't remember if I mentioned DJ Bonix earlier, but I wanted to make a point to like thank him for Sunday and like because he really set it off and like for a DJ of his magnitude who's like DJ'd everywhere, like he came in, like felt the atmosphere and just like made it his own. And so yeah, I really respect his skill and I wanted to make sure I thanked him too.
That's what's up. Now, the one in July 13th, this is going to be the same location it was on Sunday, the one in Homewood on Hamilton?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, also, so y'all do this, every month, right?
Yeah.
Year-round, right?
Yeah, so we take off in January.
Okay.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, year-round.
Because I remember I came to the one of these. It was either November or December. I forget which one it was. It was in the Strip District, and I was like, oh, I ain't know Slappers headed in the winter. I was like, okay, cool.
So we do like, that's another example of just doing cool stuff. Like that used to be the Firehouse.
Yeah.
And so we just like, we just did that for a night. And I mean, now it's Union Hall and you can see art in there.
Yeah.
But, and shout out to Bar Marco. But yeah, like we wanted to just come in with the concept, like this used to be the Firehouse. Like, can we throw a party here?
Yeah.
And it, and it worked out.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm just loving everything about Slappers and Bangers. And I see it's just elevating. And if you don't feel like you made it, I'm gonna tell you right now, you make it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And that's all. That's all I've been hearing about all today, yesterday, Sunday, even leading up to it. And it's like I said last year. It's like every year I feel like it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I didn't think it could get no bigger than it did last year. And I feel like this year you only had two so far?
It's only been, 2 summer ones so far.
And man, it's like people losing their minds.
It's crazy. But it's just nice though. It's nice to see people come out and dance. Like we're competing against social media. Like we beat TikTok for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like it's cool to have people come out and just.
And one thing about it that I love is like when I came out, I seen people I hadn't seen in years. Where I'm like, yo, I ain't seen you like in 10 years, or I ain't seen you since high school or college. And that's the beauty of it, because it's like so many people are coming out, and it's just bringing even people who I know who don't even party, who don't even like to go out, are coming out, and you're like, man, it's doing so much great for the city, and I'm loving it, man. Definitely keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there any announcements or anything you want to let anybody know, or you got planned coming up?
So I mean, tickets to the July show are on sale now, and then everybody mark your calendars for September 28th. That's the 10th anniversary. We're working on like a big DJ lineup for that. And so yeah.
Where's that gonna be at?
It'll be on Hamilton again.
Oh shit! I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be there. Man, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it'll be the 10th anniversary, and like and also we work with Wave Motion Sound, so like they're the ones who like do our sound system and stuff. So we'll be working with them to do like, I don't know, something lighting wise, screen wise, crazy. Yeah, we really just want to blow it up and just like keep celebrating the music.
Oh, it's blowing up. I'll tell you that. Shit.
yeah.
but I'm loving it. I definitely appreciate you for coming through, man. Keep up the good work. Y'all bringing just greatness to the city. Such great vibes, and Slappers and Bangers. It's slapping and motherfucking banging. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love it. And like I said, I appreciate you for coming through. And I'm gonna be there on the 13th. Make sure y'all there. July 13th, Hamilton Ave, Slappers and Bangers, and follow them on Instagram. What's your Instagram name?
Slappers and Bangers.
Arie Cole, we out. Thanks for coming through. It's a straight facts. Like, comment, subscribe.
All right, see you.
That was good, man.
Yeah, thank you. That was fun.
Yeah,
that was a great.